Hi, I'm going to show you today how to make a really cool display board. It's super easy and you can use it in so many different ways. I've made these as headboards for my daughter's bed. I've made them for bulletin boards in their room. I've made them for this one is by my piano studio, and I use it to teach piano. The supplies you need are really simple. You need insulation board, something to cover it with. You need some duct tape, scissors, and a thing of spray glue. This is foam and fabric spray, so it works really well on foam. And you might also need a kitchen knife to cut your foam down a little bit. And I'm doing this outside because it's messy. But I've marked on where I'm going to cut it, and it's really easy to cut, so I'm going to show you how to do that. I'm going to put it down here on the ground, and I've marked right where I'm going to cut it, and it's right here. So what I'm going to do is, you can see on this back side it has lines that go through it, and all I'm going to do is line this up against the lines, and I'm going to take a knife and I'm just going to mark a straight line right there. That gets through the first layer. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back. I can sit on this side of it. And I'm going to dig down into the next layer. And you just want to be really careful. You can do this with scissors too, with edge. And you're just going to cut just like this and get through the next layer. You can come up here and see. Look what I have in my little courtyard. I have a bunny. This is our little bunny that we got. This is Bentley. He is so cute. Come here, Bentley. The dog and the bunny don't really like each other. He's gone. Okay, you got to meet our bunny. How cute is that? Alright, so you can see I've got it right like that, and it's going to come apart. Like I said, this gets really messy, so you don't want this to get all over the place. Then what I'm going to do is just gently take my knife and run it through this last layer. It's just going through that little silver part. Okay, great. Now this is our bulletin board that we're going to use right like this. And what I'm going to do, so that I don't have all these little things fall off, we don't want these to come out into here and cause a bump in our fabric. So I'm going to just kind of shave that off a little bit, like that, and get all of those off. Then what I like to do is I'm going to show you, I'm going to put a piece of tape along here so that it'll keep it from coming out and getting all over. You got to give this a nice little haircut. And this is just a little thin layer. You won't even see that when it's on there. Okay, come with me inside. Okay, so now we're back inside, and I told you I'm going to use some of this clear tape that I will put on the side so that the little tiny specks of foam don't get all over the place, and you really want to make sure it goes nice and flat. So I just put a little bit of tape here, and I'm going to put tape around each of the sides, just like this. I'm going to cut it here, and just turn it under, like that. And I'm going to do the same all along here. I'm taping this on, just like here. I can't do it upside down. So I'm just going to show you this way, and go to the end. And then I'm going to just fold it in, so you can see like that. I've given it a nice secure edge right there, so we won't have any flyaways on our piece. Now you can see I've got these extra flyaways here, these little balls, and I'm just getting all of those off the counter. Okay, so the next thing we do, we're going going to put the fabric on, and this is the fabric that I'm using. I'm doing this for my daughter for her 18th birthday, and this is going to be just a bulletin board for her in her room. And these are kind of her school colors, so it's going to be really cute when she has up all the cute decorations in her room. What you're going to do is, we've measured now the board, and I have that in the center, and I'm going to take the top of my fabric and the design that I want, and I'm going to put this little edge right here on the center, and I'm going to pin it down. I'm going to pin it in nice and tight. I'm going to pull it over tight just like this, and make sure that the top of the pattern here is also going to be at the top all the way around, so your pattern sits nice and even all over this board. Okay, so I have that pinned nicely in there. Then the next thing what we're going to do is we're going to pull this up and pull this out just like this. Okay, and I'm going to, what I'm going to do just to help me keep my eye even is I'm going to mark this and just give myself an eyeball all the way down. If, like I said, if you use it on the other side, then you can use the lines, but if you have light fabric, then it's going to show through. So let me just take a second and mark this, like that. Okay, the next part, what you're going to do is you're going to take this foam spray, this glue, trim tack glue is what I'm using, and you're going to spray it just a little bit on here, just like that, a little bit at a time. And then you're going to gently fold the fabric down, and I'm kind of going underneath it like this, and I'm using my hands and I'm just flattening it out like with an iron on this side. And what I'm doing is I'm matching up the pattern right here as I go down. This is my pattern here, and I'm matching up as this pattern goes down, and I'm just rolling the fabric like this. You can see what I'm doing here. So I'm using the fabric and just pressing it out like that. And I'm going to keep going and do the next little bit. I'm going to spray like that. And this gets all over your kitchen, by the way, so you might want to put something down. And again, I'm following right along that line, right along the line, and as I go here, I'm just gently talking to it and saying, don't get out of line, do a good job, and be nice and gentle, laying it flat as you go. And again, following right along that line. Get that out of the way. And if it comes off, you can just lift it up gently and get it back into where it needs to go. You can see it's coming along really nice here. And I'm going to spray it like this. And just do, again, a little at a time. Make sure I've got my line nice and perfect there. This doesn't hold it. It's more like rubber cement, so you can peel it off for a little while. But it just, I really like using this glue. It just gives a really nice flat finish to what you're doing. And keep going right there. And you can see this is just coming along really great. Now, spray it a little bit more. This stuff, I usually find this stuff still stuck on my kitchen in like 3 months at different places on the counter, I have to say. Okay, again, I'm following along the center line along my pattern and just gently moving it like this. Make sure again that you don't have any of those little flyaway pieces of the siding. If you get some, you can kind of fill it. Just lift it up. Like I said, you can lift this up back and forth and kind of move it if you need to. And it's coming along really cute. Then I'm going to do some more. Like that. And pull it tight along there. 2 of these little flyaways are in here. You can fill those if they're in there. And Look how nice this looks already. So what this does is helps it to stay in place while we turn it over. And the next thing I'm going to show you how to do is how to finish it. But so far, this is what we have, just like this. And again, want to make sure that you're turning it at the exact same spot if you're using the fabric that has a pattern in it. And so what I'm going to do now is flip it over like this. I'll start back at this side and I'm going to lay it flat over there. I'm going to fix that. Can you fix that right there? Okay, so this is the fun part. We've got it all turned over just like this. Now what you're going to do is you're going to just take it and turn it up like this. Again, I like to use my pins just to help keep it even and keep it in place until I do the next step. And I'm just going to pin it down. You can leave the pins in or you can remove them. Sometimes I leave the pins in because you can't see them and it just kind of helps keep it sturdy. But I've got it over now so it's on the exact same. It's even right across here. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold the fabric in and I'm going to fold it over like you would a present in this corner, and I'm going to fold it up like this. So again, I'm going to take the corner of this and I'm going to just put it right along here and kind of make a seam right there, and then I'm going to fold it in and pull it tight along there, and I'm going to pin it right here. I said you can pin it because we are going to duct tape this down. That's how we do it to make it stay nice and secure, is we duct tape it down over here on this side. And then I'm going to just pin these corners like this and give it a nice good pin. I'm going in on an angle as I'm putting the pins in like that so they don't poke through on the other side. Let me make sure I got a nice good corner on that side. This, if it pokes up, you got to make sure you can get your corner in there nice and flat. So what I want to do is make sure that's going to pull up nice and flat like that. You might have to try your corners a couple times to make them look nice and even. Okay. So now you can see I have it pinned right there, and as you turn it over, you can see it's getting pulled and it looks really nice on that side. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to just continue pinning and making sure that the same pattern goes on each side right there. I'm going to pin all the way down on both sides of the fabric. Okay, so what I did is I just finished taping. I got these corners done on this side here. Throw away any extra thread that you might have. Now the next step is really easy. You're going to take duct tape, and this is what I do. To secure it down, I leave the pins in there, and I just am going to secure it in with duct tape. And you can see on this one how I did the back of this one. This one just still has the duct tape. This is a couple years old and the duct tape just stays on. Now what I'm going to show you what I do is I just lift up some of the pins and I just spray a little bit of glue in there and tack it down. Just spray a little bit of glue. I use glue and pins and duct tape just to make sure that it stays all in the place. And same thing. And once you get the glue on, we're going to let that dry for a little bit. I'm going to do this side over here. Just spray some underneath there. All right, so now I have that glued down like that. I'm going to take the duct tape again and just take it all the way along this edge like this. Okay, now my hands are really sticky with the glue. Got it nice and pushed down, really good in there. The glue will hold, duct tape will hold. Now we can turn it over and look at our really cute bulletin board. Isn't this darling? Look how nice it matches, and it just lays nice and flat. I'm going to put a couple of things of trim on it just to make it a little bit more flashy. Here is the finished product of the board.